Well, two men have died after suffering a suspected drug overdose at Thomas Square over the weekend. One of the men has been identified as 44-year-old Kevin Pang. Now, our Paul Drews shows us how common overdose deaths are in Hawaii and some of the steps people are now taking to stay safe. Paul.
Unfortunately, overdoses happen every day in the islands and deaths almost every day. The fatality rate adds up to the same number of people dying so far this year from drug overdoses as the number of people who died last year in the Lahaina fire. Recent drug overdose deaths have people on the street talking.
More people ask for Narcan, more people talking about overdoses that they've witnessed.
At the Hawaii Health and Harm Reduction Outreach Van in Honolulu's Chinatown, they exchange more than just used needles for clean ones. They also distribute Narcan, which can reverse the effects of opioids, including fentanyl.
They basically go from being the highest they've ever been in their life to withdrawal like that. So yeah, it's not going to make them happy, but it will save their life.
This drug user, who didn't want her name or face shown, says she's familiar with people overdosing on fentanyl and using Narcan to revive them.
I have used it on multiple people. Some people that just, aren't familiar with opiates, first-time users, they just, don't realize how strong it is. It's, the tiniest little bit.
Along with passing out Narcan, the outreach van also provides test kits so people can find out if the drugs they're taking contain fentanyl.
We've had an increase in people asking for the test strips. They're just seeing more overdoses. It scares people, right?
And a lot of the people on the streets lately have been mistaking it for cocaine. So they'll do a line of it and then, that's send them off too. It's scary.
Last year was a real wake-up call for us because we did see an uptick of a lot of drug use that was resulting in overdoses.
Drug use has become a much more visible problem, and not just on the streets.
So last year, we just started to see a lot more overt drug use, even in the shelters.
Because of the increase in drug use, the Institute for Human Services opened a center last summer where people can medically detox.
I know we've detoxed over 120 people already, and there, of course, we had more admissions than that. But we have about a 80% success rate, with the people that come in and actually go through, they complete the detox.
But even with the Narcan, test strips, and detox center, Hawaii has a high rate of drug deaths. Now service providers and even drug users themselves worry the state's overdose rate will get even worse.
The CDC says that there's a person that dies of an overdose every 28 hours in Hawaii. So it's getting pretty bad.
Now, drug users aren't the only ones using Narcan on one another. Along with emergency medical services and firefighters administering doses, Honolulu police officers dispensed Narcan 84 times in 2023 and 30 times so far this year. Paul Drews, Island News.